Right, we've been quite blessed here on the east coast, even though the weather forecast has been, or supposed to have been, cloudy for the last few days. It's been basically wall-to-wall sunshine for the last 3 days, and in the hothouse here it's really starting to warm up. You get them sunny days even though the nights are still cool. When the sun's out, it's hitting 23-24 degrees in here, and the plants are responding quite well. So I've got this Tetrastigma Rex, which I want to get outside as soon as it's warming up a little bit. But yeah, it's really starting to kick out some growth, and I'm having to water everything in here almost on a daily basis at the moment because, like I say, it's been so sunny and it's really starting to, things are starting to push. So we've got the Alocasia Hercules here, which has got the big spotted leaves, and that's just pushed out a big flower. Yeah, everything's starting to go. I mean, a lot of the Alocasias, which some of them did hold on to their leaves, some didn't, they will start to grow now. We've got a Schefflera Taiwaniana here, which was looking a bit rough, but it's pushing out a new flush there. We've got some palms here which are recovering from a bit of rot last year. We've got a Booty Yete there. It did rot out in the centre, but it's starting to recover nicely. And we've got the reduced Canariensis I got last year, which had totally dried out and sort of died all the fronds, and that's really starting to look a bit better now. So we've got the carnivorous plants here. They're starting to throw up their flower buds. I'm going to have to do some weeding. This was a nice little find. So if you're into your plants, you probably know that's a Persian shield. Don't see them that often here in the UK, or maybe it's just my area. But this is actually Morrison's for £4. So that's not bad. So there's a couple of tall plants in there and a couple of little ones pushing as well. So give that a bit of heat and they can really shoot out some growth in pretty quick time. So we've got the ginger here. This is a greeny eye. So this is one I bought as basically a tuber in the autumn. That's started to grow quite nicely. It's got a couple of new buds growing on that as well. We've got brought in a couple of, I say a couple, I've got 6 Musa siconensis as plug plants. So we potted them up into big pots and they'll start growing away nicely. Just something extra to go in my spring shop when I start selling plants. A lot of people wanted them last year and I couldn't get hold of them, so I got in early, bought some small plugs. I'll grow them on to a good size and sell them when I start selling, which is normally around end of April, May time. So yeah, all the palms are doing well. Again, I can't go through them all. Got a lot of Phoenix here, they're all doing well. Little Robellini starting to push out new growth. Rupicola doing well. This one's looking quite good. Reclinata. So yes, doing quite well. Got a little Princeps there potted up. Yeah, loads of stuff. Talking of Morrison's, so I bought these last year, little monsteras, and they're really cheap in Morrison's. You can see that, £2.29, but I actually paid 50p each for them because they were looking a little bit rough at the time. So I thought I'd leave them in here over winter, see how they do. Just to remind us, this is not heated in here at all. It didn't get quite down to freeze, and I have got a heater which kicks in, so it just stops it from freezing. But that's not heated at all. And yeah, the little monsteras, even at this size, have pulled through with nothing but a little bit of insect damage. So yeah, for 50p, can't go wrong. So again, I have to do a lot of weeding in here because I sort of neglected this area a little bit because it's been, weather's not been that sunny, but the last few days everything's just gone mental, the weeds mainly. but we have really got some good growth on the cannas now. So these, I potted these up, divided them, potted them a couple of weeks ago just as rhizomes out the ground from the garden, and they're all starting to push out now. So we're getting some leaves, getting some growth. So now they're starting to warm up. You know, during the day it warms up, it heats up the pots, and at night they still stay a little bit warmer than they would obviously outside. So yeah, everything's starting to come into life. I did move my Morellii bananas, the red insect Morellii, from the conservatory into here because that's warming up enough, and I've started to give them a little bit of water, so they are starting to grow now. And the insect Heniba as well is starting to push out. So a lot of the permanent plantings in here, some of it has died off. I didn't expect it all to stay green, but to be fair, a lot of it has done quite well. So the bird of paradise, I know, is not a problem. That always goes through winter, no issues. But a lot of these alocasias have surprised me, so they've stayed into sort of full green, even sort of down to, it's got down to about 1.5 degrees in here on several nights. You know, long cold winter, and yet they're still green, still look like they're ready to start growing. The palms here, so we've got the Kentia palms in here. So this is started to put out a new flusher. This is a new leaf coming out, and there's also a spear behind that. So they've done absolutely fine throughout winter in here, these cool temperatures. Even the Alocasia Redemption is starting to come into growth. So we've got a new leaf opened up here, and we've got a new little one starting to open. The Marigold has opened a new leaf, and got a little pup on the side which has started to grow. So yeah, I can't complain, everything's done quite well. Jack's Giant, which is one of the hardier Colocasias, has kept a big leaf throughout the whole winter. Not done too bad, and it has just pushed out a small leaf down there, as we can see. So again, this side is kind of mirrored to this side, a lot of similar or same plants. And we can see we've got a bird of paradise here, which has got a flower spike coming, so we'll have a flower there. The big monstera has not done quite so well as the little tiny ones. A couple of leaves have browned off, but that will soon flush into growth. Not concerned about that. So again, similar situation this side. We've got another Colocasia pop up, that is the Marigold, and again we've got the Redemption with a small leaf coming on that. I'm going quick so I don't want to bore everyone, so we'll go as quick as we can. So this is the Nico palm, which is done incredible through winter, looking really good. This is the leaf that opened sort of autumn last year, and we've got a nice new green spear coming there as well. Washingtonia robusta there. The big bird of paradise here, giant bird. Done okay. Starting to pup at the bottom, so there's quite a lot of little pups in that one. Again, we've got some Alocasia here. This is Macariza, one of the giant ones, and that's managed to hold on to a leaf on each growing point, so that's done quite well also. All the bromeliads, which I normally have in the garden over summer, just chucked on here, not really watered them, all looking pretty good. I'm sure they will start growing nicely now the temperature's warming up. The palm grass I dug out the garden last year because it was in the wrong place and managed to divide up, so we've got 4 pots here, so I might sell a couple of pots in the spring, late spring. I did do a swapsy with someone for some other plants, but yeah, I've got a big pot which I'm going to put back in the garden once it starts growing, and I'll have 3 pots to sell. But yeah, even that is kept on summer's leaves over the winter, and still even got some seeds on it which I did sow through around the garden, so we'll see if they come up. Right. So the avocado trees have done absolutely fine, starting to flush new growth. So this is, I mention these occasionally, so I grew these from this seeds from shop bought avocados probably about 3 years ago now, and I've always kept them cold in the winter, and they've sometimes dropped a few leaves along the bottom, but they always flush out again. And you know, maybe one day we'll get some avocados. Not that I particularly like them, but I think it'd be nice to grow some. Another Alocasia there, it's a calculator. That's pretty much one of the hardest Alocasias. Not too keen on the shape of the leaves, they're not giant leaves, but again, quite exotic looking, so that's always a bonus when a plant holds on to its leaves in cool, very dark conditions. It's a bit of a mess at the minute, to be honest. That's hard because I want to get stuff outside and bring more tropicals in, but at the minute it's a touch and go because the nights are still pretty cool. So I don't really want to shock anything by taking it out just yet. So it's getting a bit full in here. I'm struggling to move, but a lot of this stuff will come out shortly, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So we've got a lot of Sables here. So a couple of these are going to be going out in the garden in the centre palm bed, slow growing palm bed. So we've got a couple of Sable riversides, and they've done really well. They were outside most of the winter last year, only took a little bit of damage on the older leaves. Really impressed me. Lovely blue leaves on them, so they're going in the centre garden now. They'll be a slow grower, but already really beautiful colour. And we've got some small Sable minors there and some Sable palmettos as well, all doing well. Maybe I can get down here, we'll even have a look at the Brahera Marta seeds we germinated this time last year, and they're done absolutely fine in here. They're on their third leaf. So again, over here we've got the Cannas, we've got some lilies here as well, but a lot of the Cannas again pushing growth. This is the Schefflera de Velii, which is going to go in the garden hopefully pretty soon. That is starting to get some nice new flushes in the centre there. So that's quite a nice Schefflera, one that I've been after for a little while and managed to get autumn last year. Yeah, so in general, again, getting a bit crowded. Got a lot of stuff underneath the benches as well, which some ferns, and we can see the spotty dotty starting to push out, Echium, and all the little Sable palmetto and Sable minor seedlings. Again, we germinated them this time last year, so a lot of these are sort of on their starting to go their fourth leaf. They'll need going into bigger pots quite soon. Got few. So I've done some Spanish reed propagations a couple of summers ago now, and these were the leftovers which weren't looking good last year, good enough to sell. But this year I've got 3 or 4 pots of that, so that'll go on the spring shop as well. Really nice variegation on them, and as soon as they get in the ground, they'll start dividing up and really taking off. Got a lot of little Trachycarpus here. Some of these are Fortunae and some of these are cross waggy. So I'll be looking to shift some of them this year as well, because I've got quite a few of them, and they've I won't say get in the way, but they need to be gone now to make room for other stuff. So again, they'll be going in the spring shop once they've been weeded and fertilised. But yeah, not looking too bad. In fairly big pots, but they've been slow. I mean, I've had these germinated from seed probably 4 or 5 years ago. They really don't like being in pots, they want to be in the ground. And a lot of these were outside all last year, and a lot of them did spear pull but come back strongly. This is one that's been a bit slower to come back. But this is a cross waggy Fortunae. But yeah, all recovered from spear pull, so they're nice, tough, hardy little palms, and they'll be ready to go to new homes shortly. So let's finish up. So I've got a lot of the Colocasias starting to show signs of life. So I've got my little dedicated shelf to the Colocasias. I've really started to grow quite a few different types of Colocasia, one of my favourite plants. So a lot of them I've left in the garden, some I've divided up. So I've got a lot of Black Magic, which is these little ones, which, if we can see, are just starting to go now, but to be honest, within a month they'll be decent little plants. And I've got some Jack's Giant, Fontisiae there, Marigold, some standard Escalenta, loads of stuff, Burgundy stem, and some redemptions and all sorts, but some are not making an appearance yet, but I'm sure now that it's starting to warm up, we should be okay. You can see this. So again, this is just a Marigold, which, to be honest, is one of my favourites, because it seems like it's, you know, we've had some sort of planted in a situation here which has gone all winter, more or less held on to one leaf. It sort of dropped last month, the last leaf, and now it's starting to warm up and the light levels are increasing, starting to push out new growth again. So for one of the Hawaiian types, which tend to be the most fussy, that's the least fussy. And really I do like the leaf, even though it's just I won't say plain green, it's really limey green, but really one of my favourites, because they tend to get very big and very vigorous. And even this one that I've just potted off here, if we look around the stem of it there's at least 4 or 5 little pups coming on that. So really vigorous type, that one. Yeah, so everything's doing well. I've got some Bajou, Musa Bajou, which when I divided up a month or so ago, I had too many, so that's always a good little money spinner if you've got some of them, because they do pup quite regularly. And as we can see, we've got various sizes here. This one's probably coming up to 5 foot. This one is nearly 5 foot of trunk and already reaching for the sky there. That's well over 7 foot there. And we've got some smaller little pups here as well, starting to go. So yeah, it's going to be busy for the next month or so. I've just seen a dirty old snail sitting right on my queen palm there. So this is one of the, so I've got, this is the queen palm, this is the Santa, I always forget the name of it, that's why I just call them mountain queen palms. I'm sure that'll come to me, but yeah, that's one of the hardier tree queen palms there, which have done absolutely fine. But I've got a standard queen palm here as well, which is done fine as well. And then we've got the big one up here, which we brought last October or November, and that's done really well as well. So yeah, everything's doing okay. Some are just as they're starting to give up and drop leaves, like this Alocasia. Yeah, started to warm up, so that'll come back into growth. So just about a matter of tidying up a few things. And all these little Tetrapanics pups are really starting to pick up as well now. I may have to repot them before I sell them, because they're growing so quick. Right, let's leave it there. So as we can see, it's a bit of a jungle in here, but not in a good way. It's a bit bit restrictive for space and a little bit awkward watering, but yeah, a lot of this stuff will be coming out soon, and we'll have a proper tidy up and a proper go through and see what we've got. And yeah, hopefully, I don't know if you've been watching the videos, but this actually did flood more than once over winter, just due to the amount of rainfall we've had. So the first time was ridiculous. It was 6 inches deep of water in here, and I thought, oh, I've lost a load of plants, especially my permanent plantings at the back here, like I say, with the Kentia palms and some of the bird of paradise. I thought, no, they're not going to like that in the middle of winter cold. But yeah, everything's done fine. None of the colocasias have rotted out, they're still all growing. And again, that's flooded a couple of times in here. I have got a pump rigged up and pumped all the water out, but yeah, everything's fine. Didn't lose anything due to that. In fact, I don't think I've lost anything in here. Some of the Alocasias have sort of dropped all their leaves, but in all honesty, I expect all them to come back. So yeah, so we've got some pots with just stumps in, but I will tidy off the dead foliage on some of them, and I have no doubt at all they'll all come back with this warmer weather coming in. Right, so again, if let me know if you want any in-depth details on any plants, any palms in here. I'll probably do a full palm tour once I bring some of the palms from indoors out here, some of the more tropical ones, but again, that might be a few weeks until that warms up fully. But yeah, all in all, very happy. Yeah, things are done fine, and it's just nice to come in here. I mean, it's been another windy day, even though it's been sunny, it's been windy, and in here it's just lovely. It's nice 20, well, I've got sort of an analog for temperature here, and it's, yeah, about 22, 23, and I've got a digital one this end, as I like to compare. So it's, yeah, it has just sort of dropped down to 22.9. I don't know if you can see that from there, but yeah, so all quite toasty when you come in here from outside. Right, I think I've gone on enough. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.